Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, from the 8th chapter titled Prayers of Queen Kunti, text number 13. Janma karma chavisvatman ajasya karturatmanam tiryan visesu jadasu tarajyanta vidambanam. Of course, it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work though you are inactive, and that you take birth, though you are the vital force, and the unborn. You yourself descend amongst animals, man, sages, and aquatics. This is bewildering. Gopyadade tvai kritavasi dhamatavat yate dadashu karilanjana sambhramaksham Vatram nineya vayabhavanaya stitasya samam vimohayati bir abhiyat bideti. My dear Krishna, Yasoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflowed with tears, which was washed with mascara from your eyes. Then you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. Chit ahurajam jatam punyasokasya kirtaye yado priyasyan vavaye malayaye vachananam. Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings, and others say that he's born to please King Yadu, one of the dearest devotees. You appear in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malaya hills. Apare vasudevasya devakyam yachitu vyagat ajastram ayakse maya vadayata suradvisam. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you've taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. Varavatara-nayanye bhuvanava-ibhudado siddham chaburi-varena jato yadma-bhuvartita. Others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. Bhavismin klishyamananam avidyakamakarmivir Sravana smaranarhani karisyan ikechana. And yet others say that you appear for the sake of rejuvenating the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. Shrivanti gayanti grinanti abhignasa smaranti nandanti tavetam jana daiva pasyanti achire tabakam bhava pravaha paramam param bhujam. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. Jnana Timirandasya Kanana Salakaya Shakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Lord Krishna appears in this world, and as we can see, for many reasons. Kunti Devi has just defined that Krishna appears to engage all the living beings who have forgotten transcendental knowledge, in hearing and chanting about the glories of the Supreme Lord, to reawaken the sleeping, conditioned souls, to provide them with transcendental knowledge. In this way, Krishna appeared to speak the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and Sanjaya, who was witnessing everything, told everything to Dhritarashtra. Demigods in the sky were witnessing. And Vyasadeva, he wrote down everything that was spoken on that battlefield of Kurukshetra. And thus, we are having the Bhagavad Gita. Or, we remember how Bhumi was overburdened. Here it is stated like a boat at sea, overburdened in a storm. Describing how elsewhere in the Bhagavatam, all the demoniac forces are overburdening the earth. So many military forces of so many demoniac rulers. We can see the same situation in the news. Countries barking at each other. And you wonder, is this a battle between the devotees and the demons, or what is it? The demons and the demons? It's not the devotees and the devotees. What can we say? So, in this way, the Supreme Lord appears to deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants. Paritranaya sadhanam vinasya saduskritam dharma samstanagiram samstanagiram sambhavami yuge yuge. In this age, Lord Chaitanya appears, and he appears not to kill the demons, but to kill the demoniac mentality. That is our good fortune. Otherwise, I don't know if there would be many alive at this time. So, we're lucky. Here we are in the temple of Panchatattva. And in this place, we are very much fond of Harinam Sankirtan, which is the Yuga Dharma. But yet, we turn to Krishna, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turned to Krishna. Sometimes we hear that when we chant the Panchatattva mantra, that mantra is even more merciful than the Hare Krishna Maha mantra, because no offenses are considered. Therefore, that is the best mantra, in a way. So someone heard that and said, okay, that's it then. From now on, I'll just chant that mantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri better get out 16 rounds for Panchatattva. But now, we're chanting Hare Krishna because Lord Chaitanya chanted Hare Krishna. We are remembering Lord Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always remembering Lord Krishna. Because the pastimes of Lord Krishna can fulfill the heart. And there's no separation between these two. So it's not that, oh, now is the Yuga Dharma, now only Lord Chaitanya. No, very much Krishna. By entering into the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one emerges in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So in this way, we are preparing for Janmashtami. Janmashtami is a time to do something extraordinary. It cannot be an average day. It cannot be that Janmashtami is just a day like any other day in Krishna consciousness. Janmashtami is a day to do something special, whatever it is, to read more about Krishna. Therefore, in some temples, since the time of Srila Prabhupada's presence, in some temples there is always somewhere a room where there are devotees who read the whole day Krishna book, from morning till night. Krishna book is 90 chapters, so that's a lot. But they just start in the morning and different people go in the room and everyone reads a little bit. And this is really nice, actually. It's a nice practice. Because we just want to spend the whole day, just one day, the whole day, Krishna. Tomorrow, let's just not communicate on the phone. Let's not do it. Even if there is all this stuff about Krishna on the phone, I know, but there's not only stuff about Krishna on the phone. And before you know it, it's again, the everyday drain of like all this telecommunication. It's just flight mode. Switch your phones off. Leave them home. And then we'll just spend time here. We will not go anywhere. We will not go on any virtual journey. We will just stay here. And we'll just spend our day with Krishna. Simple as that. And that's actually all we want. Just one day completely Krishna. Not like a little, but just from morning till night, the whole day, talking about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, chanting, and whatever it is, or serving. Cooking and cooking and cooking and cooking for Krishna until you drop. Right? So many preparations, and each one has to be good, not like 1,000 quick preparations. It's like take yogurt in 12 bowls, and and you put different flavors in each one. So 12 preparations. Next, no, real preparations. Many. Yes. This is Janmashtami. It must be a special offering must be made to Krishna. Everything, everything. Artists come out and do dramas, or dancers dance, or children dress up. Sometimes they do a yajna with 108 names of Krishna. So many different activities. Abhisheks. In some temples, the abhisheks are like many colors. I mean, they are not just bathing with milk and yogurt and those things, and honey also with fruit juices and endless varieties and huge abhisheks. So, and takes the whole day to prepare, and that's a big thing. And then all the mantra chanters come out, this stotra and that stotra and this Purusha Sutta and that one, and they all chanted without paper. Everywhere you have some of those pandits. So that is very nice. All these things are for Janmashtami. Anything to glorify Krishna. Beautiful decorations. As simple as that. So Janmashtami is not like a time that everything has to be new, that we have to hear. We will hear the same old thing, you know, that Mother Earth was overburdened by all these military phalanxes of demoniac kings and came in her original form of a cow as Bhumi Devi before Lord Brahma. And subsequently, Lord Brahma felt the grief that Bhumi Devi felt. And he shared, and in compassion, Brahma decided to help her. All the demigods came also to that place, and all together they went to the shore of the ocean of milk, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead is lying on the bed of Ananta Sage, that serpent who with many hooves is providing an umbrella for the Lord. And then Lord Brahma received a message telepathically. Yeah. Not on his phone. He received a message, and then he told all the demigods to take birth in the family of the Yadus. And thus, the demigods appeared in the family of the Yadus. And so, the Yadus became very powerful. And Krishna eventually also appeared in that family. All these matters will be discussed. It will be discussed how Kamsa had the prophecy that he would be killed by the 8th son. I remember in one Janmashtami, I came, and when I came to the program, there was a poster, and my name was on many things, and one of them was a play. I had no idea, you know, but my name was announced for a play. Anyway, this is the Hare Krishna movement. You have to surrender, you know. Yeah, just surrender. So okay, I surrendered, and we had Vasudev and Devaki on the chariot, and Kamsa in front, holding the reins and so on. And I was the narrator, because no one had learned his lines. Nobody knew the story that well. So I was basically telling the story, and they were acting it out. It was a funny play, because it went wrong most of the time. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was fun anyway. Lord Chaitanya also used to do plays, and they were not rehearsing them. They were not rehearsing the parts. They would just put on the costumes and start playing. And everyone would take some role. So like that we can also do it. Although I'm not so big, I can do a good concert. So, yes, all my subjects. I only here for my pleasure. Anyway, so we can certainly do such things. I'm open. If anyone wants to play, let's play. Whatever we will do. Let us just, somehow or other, remember Krishna. As simple as that. That's the purpose. It's not Hollywood or Bollywood. It's simply here on the wooden floor in Ljubljana. Special sound effects. So somehow or other, we will. It's not a show. It is simply we want to spend our time remembering Krishna, and every detail we want to remember. Somehow or other, more detail, more about Krishna. So many things about Krishna's pastimes, whatever happened. We remember how Kamsa was very powerful. Kamsa had even taken the throne from Indra. He had fought with Indra and he'd taken his throne and put it in Mathura. Of course you might think, how is this possible? But you should understand that, yes, well, it was for the Yadus ultimately. Kamsa, of course, sat on that throne for a while, but, you know, once Krishna was invited for that wrestling match, then at the end the situation got pretty exciting. It is said that Krishna and Balaram defeated these powerful wrestlers. And of course Kamsa became very agitated, very agitated. And then the next thing, in Gopal Champu, it describes that Krishna and Balaram then, with some other boys, started wrestling. Some coward boys. And these coward boys defeated Krishna and Balaram. You know, to make it even worse. That's when Kamsa lost it. That was just too much. Kamsa just called out from Royal Guard, confiscate all the goods of Nanda. He went after Nanda. Well, that Krishna, of course, could not tolerate. You know. So then the royal guard was around Kamsa, and Krishna jumped on the dais, the raised platform, over the royal guard. A big jump. And then he slapped Kamsa, and Kamsa's crown fell off his head. Jiva Goswami explains that some say that Krishna's intention was only to knock the crown of Kamsa's head, because after all was his uncle, so he never wanted to kill him, but somehow or other, accidentally. Some say. Of course, you know, mind you, when Kamsa was lying on the ground, and he was already dead, but Krishna then started to beat him like anything, and punch him left and right, just so that everyone could see that Kamsa was really finished. And then he had the body of Kamsa also, he dragged the body through the arena. So everyone was now quite sure Kamsa is actually dead. So that was quite a relief at the time, one should understand. So all these things took place. And then Krishna said, okay, now I'm going home. Nanda Maharaj, let's go to Vrindavan, jump down, we get out of here, we go back home. And then the Yadus said, no, wait a minute. Didn't the celestial voice, a celestial voice never speaks a lie. Didn't that celestial voice say that the 8th son of Devaki would kill Kamsa? So who killed Kamsa? You killed Kamsa. So then that proves that you are the son of Devaki. Then you have a duty to stay here and protect your parents. Now there's no one, only old Ugrasena. No. So who can protect us? You will have to stay here. Krishna, oh my God. Stay here. I don't want to stay in Mathura. I don't want to stay here. But somehow or other, Dharma was so strong that he was forced to stay. And nowadays, who cares about Dharma? It's your duty to stay. Yeah, sure. But the whole society, everyone was following Dharma. There was no question of not following. So he was just forced by social pressure. He was forced. He had to stay. It was terrible. He was just thinking about it, how to get out of this. Anyway, he said to them, look, don't worry. I'll just kill a few demons and then I'll be back. And that was his intention. That was his plan. It is well known that Krishna always says to the residents of Vrindavan, I just have to kill a few more demons, but then I'll come. That is well known. But we should understand he means it also. He wants to come. But it's the Yadus who are always holding him to this responsibility. You are responsible. You cannot leave. How can you go and leave us unprotected? No. You must stay. So in this way, we can see how Krishna, although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is also becoming caught, just like we do, and becomes caught in a network of social obligation and caught in relationships. I don't know if you are caught in relationships. If you're not, then that's amazing. Because everyone gets caught in relationships from the moment you're born. Right? It starts caught in relationships and carries on and carries on. The things you do for relationships, it's amazing. You would never do on your own. No way. Really. You wouldn't do it. But for a relationship, you do the craziest things. Everybody. So this is interesting. And Krishna also. Krishna also gets caught in relationships, which is very nice because it means that Krishna is, as Srila Prabhupada put it, he said that in personal calamity thou hast moved. Absolute is sentient, thou hast proved. Sentient means the absolute truth has a heart. That's what it means. The Supreme Lord has a heart. One of Srila Prabhupada's godbrothers wrote a book called The Heart of Krishna. And it's a nice book actually. The Heart of Krishna is really the one thing. That's the one thing that we want to conquer. We want to capture the heart of Krishna. When all these mothers in the morning in Vrindavan send their sons, the cowherd boys, into the forest, they make lunch packages. And they know very well that these cowherd boys have a game where they steal each other's lunch packages. And they know that they taste from each other's lunch packages. And they also know that sometimes Krishna steals the lunch package of one particular boy. And maybe today will be the lucky day that Krishna will steal the lunch packet of my boy. Therefore, every day they make sure to put something special in these lunch packages. See? They're not just ordinary lunch packages. I mean, they are lunch packages, like, that could drive you mad, because what these ladies want is that Krishna tastes at least one preparation from that lunch package, and that he just goes like, wow, I've never tasted anything like this. That's what they want, that recognition. It is said that a devotee is completely selfless, and that a devotee is serving Krishna and doesn't want anything from Krishna. But it's not entirely true, actually. It's not true. Because what a devotee wants to see that as they do service for Krishna, they want to see a glimmer in Krishna's eyes, a glimmer of recognition. Something that Krishna says, wow, that's really nice. That's what the devotees want. Nothing else. Only that. Only that. So it's not impersonal that we are just serving Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna. I remember that somehow or other, my first Gaur Purnim, in the Hare Krishna movement, I wound up in the Bhaktivedanta Manor. And there's the reception room nowadays. And that room was not yet the reception room. It was just a huge empty room. And there was an ocean of sweets. Everyone was just rolling sweet balls and different trays of sweets. And it was my service to fast that day and to roll sweet balls. Now I was very new in Krishna consciousness and I just couldn't get it, you know. I mean, what are we doing in this Hare Krishna movement? It's like they fast the whole day and they deal more with food than on any other day. It's like, and they make me fast, and I have to sit in the middle of an ocean of sweet balls. Sweet balls. It was just too much. Too much. At one point I went out, I offered something and I ate it. I did offer it. At least that much. I couldn't tolerate it any longer. Too much. Too much. Too austere. I couldn't understand it. And then the devotee said, yes, it's all for the pleasure of Krishna. Oh, for the pleasure of Krishna. Nothing for us at all. It was difficult to relate to that. Now I understand. All for the pleasure of Krishna. But that is our pleasure. But we want to see that pleasure. We want to see how Krishna is becoming ecstatic. That's it. That's the fun, even in this world. We see that. People, they cook and then they want you to eat and eat till you almost die of overeating. And that's the greatest ecstasy. It's a strange thing. It's a strange thing. If you think about it. They almost kill you and they really enjoy it. But this has its origin in the spiritual world. Because Mother Yasoda does the same thing. I mean, in the morning, early in the morning, before others get up, Rohini, Balaram's mother, is already in the kitchen. And she's cooking and cooking. At that time, Radharani is not yet there. They're bringing her later on a palanquin, and a beautiful palanquin, a procession comes, and Radharani is brought to the house of Yasoda to cook there also, and then she cooks. And then Krishna eats this enormous breakfast, and then Mother Yasoda says, you're not eating anything. Take something, you know. Come on, you know, you're starving. And meanwhile, he's like, you know, eating a ridiculous amount already. And she's still insisting that he'll take more. It's amazing how these things are there in the spiritual world. But it's also wonderful because we can so easily relate to Krishna. So we want to focus on that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes, we know that Arjuna saw the universal form. We know that. We know that the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita describes that universal form of Krishna in an elaborate way. Many faces, many mouths, and in these mouths he was chewing up all the heroes from the battlefield of Kurukshetra as if they were potato chips. That's kind of intense. Okay? And Prabhupada is saying, Prabhupada was in Calcutta, and Prabhupada was eating kachoris, his favorite preparation. On the day after Janmashtami, there have to be kachoris for Prabhupada's appearance day. That has to be. If you don't know how to make kachoris, you better get the cookbook and start practicing. You have to make kachoris. That's like a must. Because Prabhupada loved kachoris. And Prabhupada there was bombing in Calcutta, an alarm. Everyone went into the bomb shelter, but his wife had just cooked a place of fresh, piping hot kachoris. So Prabhupada didn't go in the bomb shelter. He stayed there, and he ate his kachoris, and he was eating those kachoris. And then he saw the bombing. And Prabhupada said, that was also Krishna. That was also Krishna. But that was not the lovable form of Krishna. That was not the lovable form of Krishna. So Prabhupada also describes that that universal form is not the lovable form of Krishna. Yes. But this personal form of Krishna, that is what we want to know. That is the lovable form of Krishna, because that form of Krishna is very close to us. Not Karusmi Lokiksaya Krit. I am I am destroyer of worlds. Not that. That's not what we are going to meditate on Janmashtami. We're going to meditate on Krishna, on his human and superhuman pastimes, and that is actually most wonderful. So yes, this is what is on our mind. And on this evening, we are preparing, are now soon going to end, because part of preparing is to have a good night's sleep, so that tomorrow we have all the energy to just go and go and go and then go a little more, and then still a little more, and just a tiny little bit. We remember that Srila Prabhupada, in one of the early Janmashtamis in New Vrindavan, did not have any books translated at the time. The Bhagavatam wasn't translated, the Krishna book was not just written, so he didn't have the stories about Krishna. So what he did, he was just in the evening reading the Sanskrit verses. And it's for hours. And Prabhupada said, it doesn't matter whether you understand it or not, you'll be purified. So, and everyone is sitting there, and there were many sannyasis with dandas, and at one point, the whole forest of dandas was falling over. Everyone, it said like, everyone was asleep, except for Prabhupada. It was just impossible to stay up till midnight. But now we have so many things. Now we have so many experts in so many aspects of the culture of Krishna consciousness. Now it's midnight before you know it. And then comes the appearance day of Srila Prabhupada. The next day. And it's really every year it's like, how are we going to survive all this? In order to deal with Janmashtami and Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, you have to be transcendental. It's the only option. So I know normally we are not so transcendental. But on this day, somehow or other, on these days, we have to be. We have to rise above the bottom platform to make it to the end. Keeping that in mind, I think now I'm going to deal with the body a little bit. Not shower, little rest, so that then tomorrow the festival can begin. I hope to see you all. Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Kadamba Maharaj Ki. Hare Krishna devotees. Few announcements before we take the last part of the program, which is ice cream and some other